Yo, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's RFG back at it today, and this is gonna be a really short, quick video. I'm gonna get straight to the point. Somebody asked me a very good question a couple of days ago and asked me if this whole extraterrestrial thing is really real and legit. Why haven't any large group of extraterrestrials? Why haven't they ever shown themselves publicly to a large amount of people? Okay, and I will be the first to say that is a very good question, ladies and gentlemen. And the first thing I'm going to say to answer that would be, who is the more subservient slave? Okay, I'm going to ask you, who is the more subservient slave? The slave that knows he's a slave, or the slave that does not have any knowledge that he or she is a slave? Okay, what I will tell you from firsthand research is the individual that knows that they are a slave has a much higher chance of rebelling than the individual who is a slave and doesn't know that they are a slave. You see, the best way to enslave an individual is to have that person in bondage without them even knowing it. Okay? That is the best way to enslave a group of people, okay, is to hold them in bondage without them even knowing that they're in bondage. Okay? Now, I'm going to prove this because all you have to know is that when these individuals concocted their currency system, which is the global money system, okay, which is putting the global power system, connecting that to a piece of paper, that is when they basically made humanity their slaves. And anybody who tries to deny that is extremely uneducated, because most of us, you know, there's 8 billion people on the planet, and most of us basically live, drink, and eat, and go to work every single day and plan our lives on a green piece of paper, right or wrong. We badmouth each other, we betray each other, we murder each other, we steal from each other, we lie to each other on a massive scale over a green piece of paper. People kill their own family members over a green piece of paper. Okay, you can't deny this. These entities that live in inner Earth are the ones who gave you your money system, who gave you your paper bullshit fiat system. Okay, these are the ones who put the whole power system, okay, of the planet on a piece of paper. Okay, they created the capitalist system. Okay, before the Ptolemies took over Egypt, okay, most of the world they were conducting a bartering system. Okay, this is how they enslaved humanity. This is how the entities in inner Earth enslaved humanity. They created the money system, the paper dollar system, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the number one form of slavery on this planet. Period, point blank. All 7.5 billion of us give the most power in the world to a green piece of paper. Okay? And anyone who denies this is only denying the truth. Okay? So, with that being said, these entities have put forth false governments, false leaders all across the world to give you the illusion that that is your real government. Okay? To give you the illusion that the green piece of paper is the real power on the planet, when they are the real power, the entities that live in inner Earth. Okay? They have concocted the master psyop, the master plan for their agenda. Okay? there was one time in history where people didn't even know that there were other continents. Okay, let's just play this scenario. Let's say no government existed, and let's say there was a particular family that lived in southern Florida. And this family that lives in southern Florida, they live their lives, okay, and they're only focused on themselves and their own business. There's no governments that exist. There's no artificial technology. All they're concerned about is their family and their lives. Do you think that they're going to have any knowledge of other continents out here? Okay, there existed a time on this planet where there was no school system, there was no government system, okay, and nobody had any knowledge of any other continents until they were taught, you see what I'm saying, until they were taught that information by another entity. Okay, so once upon a time, there were individuals living on each continent who really thought and believed that their continent was the only one that existed, that their land and their group of people were the only people and the only land that existed. Until people started to travel and explore different kinds of people and different lands. Okay, then we discovered that we're living on a much bigger earth, on a much bigger picture, you see, a much bigger reality. Okay, then when we discovered that there's other continents, our ancestors started looking up at the sky, okay, and came to the conclusion that, you know, this is not the only world that exists. Okay, there's other worlds out there. Okay, then as time went on and more people started looking up at the sky, okay, we came to the conclusion that there's more than one solar system out there. Okay, there's billions of other stars and other solar systems. Okay, so we belong to a vast, ever-expanding universe. Okay, anybody saying that extraterrestrial life doesn't exist, well, you don't know the ancient saying of our ancestors, which is as within, so without. Everybody wants to talk about as above, so below, as above, so below, as within, so without. Okay, under the earth's surface we have inner earth. Okay, we have inner earth. Then we have the surface of the earth. Okay, then we have the outer realms, which are known as space. As within, so without. There is an inner space inside of earth, and then there is an outer space outside of earth. As within, so without. Okay, these extraterrestrial entities do not show themselves to humanity because we are so devolved as a species to this point where they know if we see them, we're going to react in one of two ways. We're going to immediately try to harm them and try to kill them, or we're going to be struck with so much fear, we're going to spread the word of their existence. Okay? They know human nature. They thrive and live off of our energy, and they know our nature, our true nature. They know our likes and our dislikes. Okay, this is why they get all this energy off of, you see what I'm saying, these football games, these soccer games. They harness our Ka energy. I did a whole video on this about a year ago. Okay, this is either the Greys or the reptilians in a UFO craft hovering over a football game. They are harvesting our Ka energy, okay, off of all these sporting events, all these wars, okay? When humans are exerting feelings of hatred, anger, frustration. It's almost like a high. It's almost like a high for these reptilian humanoids. Okay, and this is why they enslaved us without us even fucking knowing it, because they're harnessing our energy without us knowing it. All these people are focused on the damn football game, but not on the goddamn reptilian humanoids harvesting your goddamn Ka energy. You see? It's the ultimate mind fuck. They portray, and then they have the Jews in Hollywood portray these images in Hollywood movies so we think they're fake. They came up with the bullshit term science fiction to make the truth seem like fiction. That whole doctrine of science fiction is complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. The word science fiction does not exist, and it was created by these entities in inner earth to make the real reality of this earth, okay, seem like a myth, but it's actually a reality. So if they keep playing these scenarios in movies and keep telling us that, you know, inner earth, oh, that's all fake, these extraterrestrials that live in inner earth, that's all fake, UFOs, life, intelligent life on other planets, that's all fake. And they knew if humans saw this over and over and over and over, and were told this over and over and over in the movies, they would, you know, begin to think that it's the truth, that it doesn't exist. Okay? But, you know, this is the age of Aquarius, the age of enlightenment, and, you know, most people are getting word that they've been lied to. Okay? They've been lied to. Like I said, this is a vast universe. Each star you see is basically another solar system. For us to say we are the only intelligent life here is to me, blasphemous. Okay? Blasphemous to the Creator. Otherwise, the Creator wouldn't be all-knowing, all-powerful if the Creator didn't make multiple intelligent life forms on multiple planets. I wouldn't consider the Creator all-powerful if that wasn't the case. Okay? So these extraterrestrials, which are now interterrestrials in inner Earth, they've been inhabiting this Earth since before the first humans were created. Okay? Our ancestors knew about these reptilian humanoids in inner Earth. That's why they made statues of them. That's why they carved hieroglyphics of these beings. You see? These are two statues that were made in their image in South America. This is a hieroglyphic, serpent-like humanoids, an ancient Kemet. Okay? A lot of genetic splicing going on. Okay? This is why the churches in medieval times put the gargoyles on the corner of their churches. You see, the real church is our body, our flesh and blood body. Okay, we're not supposed to be giving our energy and money to a damn pastor. Okay, that's why they call it the pulpit. That's why they put the goddamn gargoyles, the reptilian humanoids that live in fucking inner Earth. That's why they put these gargoyles on the corners of the goddamn churches, because that's what you're doing. Just like the UFOs are harvesting the Ka energy over the football stadium, the goddamn gargoyles in inner Earth are harvesting your energy in inner Earth when you enter that damn church. That's why they put the gargoyles on the corner of the goddamn churches. You see, the gargoyles are personifying the reptilian humanoids in inner Earth. And yes, there are plenty of them that have wings. That's where you get your Jeepers Creepers movie. You see, that's where you get your Jeepers Creepers movie. That's why there's so many missing people, you know, on a yearly basis, but they'll never tell you that. So yes, to answer that individual's question, these extraterrestrials have not shown themselves publicly to humanity for two reasons. One, they know that we are so devolved, we're either going to attempt to harm them, or we're going to spread the word about their existence. And when that happens, eventually people are going to wake up And these entities in inner earth are going to lose their power. Okay? And their power comes from our ignorance. Our ignorance of the paper dollar being worthless, and our ignorance of them actually existing. Okay, that is how they operate. Once again, who's going to be the more subservient slave? The slave that knows he's a slave, or the slave that doesn't know he or she is a slave? I would say the slave that doesn't know they're a slave is the more subservient individual. Okay? There are plenty cases of individuals getting abducted, okay, and waking up with microchips in their bodies, okay, with missing time in their head, and these microchips that are pulled out of them have metals in them that can only be found in the goddamn asteroid belt. Okay, I have plenty of videos on this channel proving this. Okay, so once again, this about sums up what I had today for today's video. Also, this is a little bit off topic, but I want everybody to know, anybody who calls me pseudo is a complete moron and a fraud, because when I teach, you know, melanated people being humans, and then non-melanated people with blonde head and blue eyes being mankind, that is the truth. Okay, that is the truth. If you think it's bullshit, just look up the Tamahu. Look up the Tamahu. The Tamahu, according to Kemetic scripture, Kemetic information on the hieroglyphics, the Tamahu were the pale-skinned people that were created through genetic splicing. Once again, the Tamahu were the pale-skinned people created through genetic splicing, and the first ones had blonde hair and blue eyes, ladies and gentlemen. They're called the Tamahu in ancient Kemet and Medu Neter. Tamahu means the created ones. The created ones. So anybody talking this bullshit, see what I'm saying? That 100% of the humans on the earth are the same. They're out of their goddamn minds, and they don't do their research, and they don't have any knowledge of the Tamahu. Okay, so if you're calling me pseudo, you're calling our Kemetic ancestors pseudo when they talk about the Tamahu, the created Caucasian race that was created through genetic splicing. Okay, anybody else who calls my information spookism, the only reason they call it spookism is because it's real spooky to them, and the truth is too goddamn spooky for them to accept, because it puts fear in them. They're very weak-minded. They don't do their research, and they're very fearful. They're very fearful of the truth. Okay? They're very fearful of the knowledge that these are the real entities that are controlling the goddamn earth on the surface. You see? So that their mind can't even comprehend that information properly. Their mind can't even comprehend that we have an infinite universe, and in this galaxy there's over 400 billion stars, and over half of them could be supporting intelligent life. Each one of these dots is another sun with planets orbiting around it that could have life. Their mind can't grasp that information, you see. So they call my work spookism, because it puts a lot of fear in them. They're very scary. They're very scary, fearful individuals, and they're afraid of the truth. You see, so they call my work spookism, which is very funny. You see what I'm saying? But that's really all I had to say on this topic, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and Atlantean movement. Like, subscribe, share this video. It's the chosen